Hey my loves, welcome back to Goddess of Peace. This is probably like the first video that I'm posting after, I don't know, like a month or two, but welcome back or welcome. Today's video is all about the power of being underestimated, and in addition to that, I guess the strength in being gentle. So this is a get ready with me plus commentary, philosophy, whatever. So just get right into it. Okay, we're gonna get in. We first have some aquaphor. Boom. Okay, boom. I just threw on my robe and we're gonna begin with skincare. So welcome to my TED Talk. I want a better name for my series, my commentary videos. So if you are a creative soul and want to share some ideas with me, drop it down below. We're first going to begin with Vanicream Daily Facial Moisturizer. Yeah, so basically there is a quote I want to share with y'all. And I will include who it's by in the description box. I know I'm kind of lazy. Should have researched before I got on here. But the quote goes, "Never make the mistake of assuming the person of peace is unskilled at war." So, you know, the title of this video is The Power of Being Underestimated. Why I want to talk about this is because there is somewhat of like a dichotomy, or there's many nuances to the difference between kindness versus weakness. And it's just been some sort of subject that's been stuck in my mind as of late, and I guess my whole entire life, because, you know, I also like to throw in a little bit of MBTI knowledge in the mix always. As an INFP, I was always considered kind, naive, gullible, idealistic, just things that can be condensed to being weak, you know what I mean? So this is kind of like a joking example, but how people will say I'm Hufflepuff when, okay, I'm not taking offense to it, but it's just so stereotypical, you know? Like, as an INFP, of course we're gonna be thought to be Hufflepuffs. No offense to the Hufflepuffs out there, I love y'all, okay? But I actually am a Gryffindor. So that is just kind of an example, if you can see what I'm saying. To be underestimated in that way, so for the way that you look, is a strength, okay? So when I was younger, I would, you know, take it as bullying, and of course it was. I truly do feel that it led to my character development though, because I used those, I guess, mean comments as a tool to better myself, okay? I embrace that part of myself. Next, we're gonna go in with SPF, like sunscreen, and I'm gonna have to squeeze this from the bottom because I'm about to run out. Okay. I guess it's true that no one can truly multitask because I can't really focus on doing this while I'm talking. But I hope y'all don't mind, you know, because I know I'm still entertaining. Okay. There are two ways you can go about being underestimated. You can go about it by allowing this person to become your master. There is a quote, okay, and you know, I should do prior research all the time. I do believe it's by like a philosopher, may even be by Confucius, I'm not sure, but like drop in the, I'll share. If you hate someone, you allow them to become your master, something like that. And rather than hate, it could be any emotion. If you allow someone to control your emotions, and it could go either way, it could be negative, positive, you still allow them access and you still allow them control to you. So therefore, if someone does underestimate you, you can either choose to take whatever they say to heart and allow that to hinder yourself, hinder your growth, and blame yourself, self-deprecate, or you can go about it in a way that's, why am I reacting to this person so much? Is it because I actually am very offended on what they said? And if I am offended, is it because a part of me resonates with what they called me? And I don't want you to go down that whole self-analytical rabbit hole, okay? There is, you know, access to everything. But you need to be mindful and self-aware at all times. This will keep you from allowing others to dictate who you truly are. And if you don't know who you are, a Carl Jung quote. Oh my gosh. Okay, so today's a quote video, I guess. If you don't know who you are, wait. If you don't know who you are, the world will tell you. Something like that. It's very powerful. I should probably find the whole quote. I love him. But anyways, it's like when you are truly knowledgeable about yourself, when you're truly aware of who you are at your very core, you will not allow for many comments, many insults here and there to derail you, okay? You may get offended, you may be hurt, and it's good to take note of it. And you know, like, we're human, we're not robots. Of course we're going to be hurt by something that we hear, but to be able to be in control of your emotions and not allow those emotions to control you and your reactions to what was said is power, is true strength. So therefore, that is your tool right there. I'm gonna go in with Acne Fightin' Putty Primer. My friend gave this to me. It's honestly my favorite primer ever. It's just so, like, y'all ever tried those Bath and Body Works, like, it looks like whipped cream. It's in like a cold shaking spray can looking thing, and you're like, and it's like foam, and you like, it's cold. It feels that, and it feels very moisturizing. So I'd recommend this, honestly. Yeah, I would. What else inspired me for today's video is the quote, or not the quote, but just the idea that in gentleness there is strength, in serenity there is strength, in these seemingly fragile things there is strength. Why, you ask? Because it takes a lot of self-control, discipline, self-love, self-respect to remain open, to remain loving and compassionate to others despite the hardships that you were dealt, okay? And yeah, of course, through hard experiences, through tests that God gives us, we in the moment feel resentful of the person, place, situation, even God at the time, for the minor or major inconvenience that's dealt to us, like someone betraying you, a friend, a lover. You're gonna feel resentful, okay? I don't know who you're feeling resentful towards, but there is a feeling of resent in the moment, okay? But to become jaded by that situation is allowing for that situation to take control of you, okay? And ultimately allowing that situation to become your master. And we're not owned by anyone, okay? So you have to remember that in gentleness, there is strength. When people underestimate, for example, INFPs, people who are kind looking, okay? Because again, I'm gonna cover a whole video about kindness versus weakness. Clear difference right there. But people who seem peaceful or kind and playful, loving, they're not usually labeled as warriors or fighters, people who are more strong and powerful, because that is more of like a stereotypical societal construct there, and there's faults in that, there's misunderstandings in that. However, if you truly dive into that, people who become hardened, again, jaded due to past experiences that left them feeling abandoned, neglected, distrustful, if that's a word, untrustworthy, untrusting, distrustful, same thing. You may think that these people on the outside are invincible, untouchable, strong. You would be like, these are the people we need. They're detached, they don't get attached. They don't seem like the weaklings over there, including me. But let's think about it. Why are you so jaded? Why are you so closed off to new experiences, to new people, to new emotional opportunities and beginnings? Why? Are you afraid that perhaps the truth about your vulnerability and your wound will be revealed upon someone getting too close? Next, we're gonna use concealer, Wet n Wild dual-ended contour stick. All right, so let's begin with this. And I don't mean to call y'all out, okay? Y'all do look cool on the outside. Y'all look cool. But it all comes down to your personal definition of strength. Is it truly strong of someone to remain detached, to remain closed off to being seen in fear of someone mistaking them for weak? Because that means you truly are giving power to others to dictate who you are. You're afraid of failing. You're afraid of people seeing you as vulnerable. And perhaps this vulnerability is just fear of someone seeing your emotions, because you were perhaps taught that being emotional and expressing those emotions is weak. And I'm here to tell you it's not weak. There is clearly a nuance to everything, okay? Quoting Manifestel, you know nuance Nellies. There are nuances to it, okay? We have to practice moderation. We can't always just be expressing our emotions, crying every day, and letting our emotions take control of us. However, if you're not even acknowledging the emotions that you're feeling and you're remaining detached, you're putting these walls up for a reason. It's because you're afraid of people coming in to knock those walls down and seeing the true you. And I was going to make this video shorter, but like, again, I don't like editing, and yeah, like, I just want y'all to know I'm authentic. So if y'all don't like the long videos, I don't really know what to tell you. But if you would prefer shorter ones, I guess leave a comment down below. But if you enjoy the longer videos of mine, let me know. I have always envied people who sucked it up, and you couldn't really tell what they were feeling, even in seemingly tense situations, like destructive situations. Because yes, these are the types of people that you want on your team when in an apocalypse, okay? Let's be honest, we need them. However, to truly appreciate the beauty of the world and to allow for love to come into your life, and not just talking about romantic love, all forms of love, okay? You must keep your heart open. And one thing that I pride myself in is that no matter how many people have betrayed me, have lost my trust, has lost their access to me, I have still remained true to myself. And my true self is compassionate, is forgiving, is merciful. All right, I will forgive, okay, but I don't forget. Just remember that. I will keep my promise of taking away my access to people, places, situations that have betrayed my trust, okay? Because I don't just hand it off willy-nilly. It may seem like that, but just know I notice when it's time to. All right, now give it back. Okay, next we're gonna use the e.l.f. Camo Concealer on top because it covers more. So in situations where, you know, like that meme or that quote, it's like, oh, like, I texted you or I cried in front of you, it was a moment of weakness, okay? Let's forget that. I can't help but relate to that, especially in situations where someone has done me wrong. Like, I try not to show them that they hurt me, because in that moment when I show them, I feel like they took a part of me. But I also, when out of situations like that, I have no regrets, I have no shame or guilt for being myself. Yeah, maybe in the situation I appeared crazy or clingy or attached, things of like that nature. Yeah, in the moment, low-key, I'm like, Irene, stand up. Girl, stand up. But I don't blame myself, and I wouldn't take it back. You know why? Because I keep my promise. I know that in the moment, the reason why I'm so emotional, or I'm allowing this person or whatever to see this vulnerable side of me, is because I know in my soul that they're never going to be able to rekindle this moment or rekindle this version of me if this is truly the end. And it's like almost me acknowledging that it's the end, and me kind of acting out of control, or just allowing me to grieve it in the moment. One thing that I know for sure is that I am really good at letting go. In the moment, no. Okay, like, you're going to think I'm on the brink of, like, genuinely, that is how I grieve, okay? And, you know, everyone has their different grieving processes. Like, some people take longer to grieve because they will avoid it and they will remain detached from it. But where do you think it just goes? Like, let's think about it. It's almost like, I was just thinking about this today, looking at some trash on the floor. I can go ahead and pick up all of the trash in my neighborhood. Where am I going to put that trash? The same place is already going to go, okay? So you may think that this trash is gone because you don't see it and it's not in front of you, but it's still actually living here on this earth with us. It's in a landfill, okay? You just don't see it, but it's still there. It's still around you in your atmosphere, your environment. So the same, oof, this was such a good, oh my gosh, guys, stop. That was such a good analogy. It's the same thing as whenever you push off these unwanted feelings that you're afraid to deal with. Yeah, because you're not dealing with them in the moment. It may feel like it's gone and you're like, ooh, like, I'm so detached, and I'm Sigma, or like Patrick Bateman. I'm just psycho like that, okay? You can't, I'm like, ding, ding, ding. Okay, I have a cold heart. And yeah, we can glamorize and romanticize that all we want, to be like the villain and whatever. You're still going to have to deal with it later on. Or are you just going to remain closed off to everyone, to every new opportunity that gets close to that side of you, in fear of having to come face to face to it again? And let me tell you, if you don't deal with it now, it's going to be worse. Okay, it's almost like when you don't pick up something, I guess, around your room, and you're like, I'll just do it later. And then it piles up, it piles up, it piles up. It's like a big pile of clutter now that you're going to have to either find a day to do it, get rid of all of it, clean it up, or day by day you're gonna have to do it now. So the load gets bigger. We're gonna move on to content. And I feel like my title and what I'm talking about, it doesn't line up perfectly. I just kind of go off on my own way of analyzing and comparing things, but I'm sure y'all can get a sense of like what I'm trying to say. Find power in being underestimated. Who are people that get underestimated the most? The people that seem naive, the people that seem that, I'm gonna be honest, people who seem like pushovers. Me included, okay? I was a pushover for like the beginning stages of my life. I was a people pleaser, I was a pushover, and there is no shame in that, to be a people pleaser, to be a pushover, because when you get down to the truth of why you are a pushover / people pleaser, it's because you put others before yourself, because a larger part of you just wants to be seen and to belong and to be appreciated. And we should find that sad. We should find that not normal, to go on about your life needing to be seen, longing and yearning to be seen by someone, so you're giving up every part of you to be seen. But what did we learn about the law of attraction and everything else? When you chase something, it's running away from you. But turn your attention away from it and know that you already have it. It's chasing after you. So always remember that. Like, what you focus on, even though you can acknowledge that you are a people pleaser, I don't like this phrase, fake it till you make it, but hey, fake it till you make it. Don't define yourself as a people pleaser, a martyr, okay? Self-sacrificial. Yeah, you may be that way, and I can see that as a strength for a lot of people, but ultimately it's a detriment to everyone. You are constantly filling the cups of others while your cup runs dry and no one is reciprocating. And how draining is that? How drained can you be while you go about your life? And who are you living your life for? Is that temporary feeling of being seen and that temporary false sense of being seen fulfilling enough for you to keep giving and pouring to others? We're going in with NARS Cream Blush in the shade Yeah, I just truly feel as if there is power in being underestimated. There's power in looking like someone who would be stepped all over. You can find power in that. I know. That sounds wild, and because when people view you as someone who won't make it out and will allow for like the world to crush them because you appear weak, when you make it out, it's actually more surprising than people who aren't underestimated. Let's think about it. Let's use the comparison of Spider-Man. Let's use Spider-Man, okay? Let's use Spider-Man, and let's use No, let's use Joaquin Phoenix Joker versus the original Joker. I forgot his name. Heath Ledger. I haven't watched Dark Knight, but like I know that their Jokers are different, I think. But, okay, if they're not different, then I guess this won't make sense. But it still will make sense because if you've watched Joaquin Phoenix's version of Joker, you know that, first of all, I have this app that I can look at people's, like, MBTI personality types. And people say, like, that version of Joker is an INFP. And I can totally see that because he was constantly underestimated, not taken seriously, seen as, like, lunatic almost, and he lived with his mom, like, just felt as if he was too childish and too much of a dreamer to get by. And so therefore that got him into a lot of situations where people took advantage of him and his light and his quirky personality. In the end, what happened? What happened? He went from being a literal clown, like entertaining people, to being like the Joker. Okay, like you pushed him there. And I'm not saying that what Joker turned out to be in the Joaquin Phoenix's version is what I want for y'all. I don't mean to show up as like someone who's on a rampage to hurt people. But I'm just saying there's power in being underestimated, okay? And that was not the best version of it. But you know what I'm talking about. When people keep belittling, pushing you down, trying to push you into boxes you don't fit into, you can either stay put in that box that you don't fit in, or you could ascend like the Phoenix and say, well, actually I don't belong here. And you can think I'm weird all you want, but we're just not on the same level. And that's really what it is. And prove it to people. Don't allow for your uniqueness to be your weakness. Allow it to be your strength through your individuality. Again, I feel this was all over the place because I know like I was talking about individuality, keeping your heart open, but all condensed down to one, it's really about the seemingly weak things that can truly be the most powerful things. What is the most powerful frequency, you ask? Love. Peace. And we'll laugh about love. No. Live, laugh, love. We'll laugh about that. And we will romanticize when people are like, F this, F that, this is my villain arc story, because it seems cooler to be on that wavelength in a sense. And maybe I just kind of contradicted myself by using the Joker example, but you know what I meant by that. I guess the Joker example would just be like if you allowed for people belittling you to get the best of you, and you kind of diverge on like the other end of it, the other end of the spectrum, which is evil rather than good. And that's why I'm saying, like, find power in being underestimated. Find the opportunity for change in being underestimated. That's what I mean. And I guess, yeah, I know that I'm not the most concise person when it comes to my rants, but that's why it's called like a yap sesh. I just feel that people like the Hufflepuffs who look like me and are seen as nice, like she's just really nice and stuff, are constantly underestimated because of how we appear and how we treat people. So what is going to allow us to seem strong if we were total B-words towards you? Is that gonna make us seem more strong to you? Because it just seems a little counterintuitive, but let's think about it. Strong people endure. They're resilient. So whenever you allow your light to keep shining through dark times, and you don't allow for negative experiences, negative people to dim your light, and you unapologetically keep shining that light of yours, it triggers people. And that's probably why A lot of people will joke around, tease us for being like naive and innocent and oh my gosh, you're just so nice, nothing else, just nice. And yeah, like maybe before I would get offended by that because I'm like, I'm more than nice, okay? There's way more to me than me just being nice. And let me just tell you, you're only getting this version of me because I reflect. So if you're nice to me, I'll be nice to you. Okay, you should be thankful that you're getting this side of me. But I can be mean. I can be mean. But that's another story because whenever nice people are mean or, I mean, set boundaries, they're seen as mean all of a sudden and as untrustworthy because they're like, oh my gosh, like they're a shapeshifter and you're not like who I thought you were. How are you going to make me feel like the villain here when clearly you were the villain who just low-key forced me to show this side of myself? So what do you want me to do? To remain vulnerable, remain easily controlled by someone who does not deserve that vulnerability of mine? Yeah, this rant is getting way too long, guys, but y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean. So I'm just gonna do my powder, maybe do like my eyeliner and show y'all like my transformation. Okay, so we have this eye palette. We're gonna use the black shadow for I want to do primer actually, eye primer. So moral of the story is show up for yourself. Keep your promises that you made to yourself, okay? No need to keep those promises to others. You don't have to do it. But to prove that you have the power of being underestimated is by showing up, showing out, all right? So like you can boo-hoo all you want. You can regret the reaction that you made at the time, whatever, but the past is the past for a reason. You can't change it. But you have the control over yourself and your reactions. So from now on, from here on out, you choose to react differently. You choose to focus on yourself. You choose yourself. And that's clearly like what the power of being underestimated is. It's like, oh, wait, hold on. Why do people think I'm such a people pleaser? Why do people keep taking advantage of my kindness? Why do people think I'm never gonna succeed? Oh my gosh, like, I guess I'm just a failure. No, it's like, I can't believe the nerve that some people have about me. The idea, the assumption. Y'all projecting your insecurities on me because, you know what? I'll show you. And you know what? I don't feel the need to show you, but you're gonna have to find out one day. Because my success, she's loud. Yeah, so like it's about moving in silence, but moving in silence is loud. Just remember that. It's loud. Just as how real confidence is silent, but feels loud. Whereas fake confidence / arrogance, cockiness sounds loud, but it feels very small, like a little mouse chirping, or like a birdie chirping, a mouse squeaking. So yeah, I guess like the title and everything I said, it was like a bit, maybe, you know what, I'm not underestimating myself, guys. If you could connect the dots, good for you. You are on my wavelength. But if you're confused, I don't know what to tell you, because this is kind of just how I am, and it's just like what makes me fun and quirky. So you're gonna have to learn to keep up with me. But I will do a reveal at the end. I will do a reveal of my look at the end. But that's basically all I wanted to say, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed this SESH with Irene. Please help me think of series names, truly. So yeah, I'm gonna show y'all the finished look, I guess. If I forget, this is a goodbye.